Austin Rivers. He had moments. We saw flashes of brilliance during his only campaign with Mike Krzyzewski at Duke, but he also had moments where he looked like he has some improving to do. Chad, you have him ranked number 10 currently on your mock draft board. Skip, we'll start with you here. Is that too high, too low, or just right?
Chad, I think Austin Rivers should go higher. In fact, feel free to laugh at this. If Michael Jordan sat still at number 2 and took Austin Rivers, I wouldn't have a huge problem with that. That's how much I love this kid, who, to me, had one thing in common with the collegiate Michael Jordan. I thought that Austin Rivers' NBA talent got camouflaged by the system that he wound up in at Duke. He was fished completely out of water. He couldn't flourish in that ball-moving, spot-up 3 system of Coach K's, and I think it was good riddance for both of them. He wanted to leave, and Coach K said, I tried that experiment, and it failed here. Austin Rivers, as you well know, can really cross over and create. He's got some Russell Westbrook in him. He's not that much of an explosive leaper athlete, but he can pull up and he can get to the rim, and he knows how to score, and he will score at the next level. And I won't be shocked if he makes some all-star teams. I'm not saying he's going to be any big star, superstar. He's got star quality. His father obviously gives him the pedigree because he grew up in NBA locker rooms. He believes he belongs in the NBA, and I think he'll step right in and he will score points. Maybe a little liability, gambling on defense, but I'm taking him, and I'm taking him higher than your 10 spot.
Well, we said this was going to be a debate show. I think it's now going to become a debate show because while NBA teams may have him at 10, I think Austin Rivers is overrated. I actually think that he's modeled his game after Kobe. You know, he's been around the NBA game his whole life with his dad. Yeah. He loves Kobe Bryant. He loves himself some hero ball now. That's what he likes to do, is take the team on his shoulders and try to score. But he does not have the elite athletic ability. He doesn't have the elite size or length of the terrific NBA guards that can go and do that and create their own shot and rise above.
What is he, 6'5"-ish?
He's 6'4". He'll get up to 6'5", you know, with shoes and lifts, but he doesn't have that explosive elevation. He does have a great crossover. He can get to the basket. I agree that he's aggressive, but you see over and over again that these high school stars who can do everything at the high school level, then they get to college and it becomes tougher. And you look at Austin Rivers, he didn't shoot a high percentage from the field. He did not shoot a high percentage from the free throw line. He did not shoot a high percentage from three-point, and he turned over the ball more than he passed it. His talent doesn't translate to me at the next level because he is not going to be the best player on the floor, but his mentality is, I'm the best player on the floor, right? And I think that doesn't want to pass it. I don't think he plays well with his teammates. And I think he's a guy who actually could bust out of the league in a few years.
Okay, so you're saying if he goes 10, he's going to bust?
I think he could.
Wow. Stephen A., where are you?
I think I don't agree with Chad at all. I think that Austin Rivers has the potential to be big time. And let's take into account, we don't want to cast aspersions or be disrespectful in any way to the great coach Mike Krzyzewski. But at the same time, I don't think Austin Rivers wanted to pass because I think he knew that his teammates were subpar, that they were not that elite. And some of the guys that he was going up against, he felt that he was the one guy that could create shots and could make things happen, and he was alone on an island. I think on the NBA level, certainly he's got hero ball is never a good thing, and that's something that he'll have to reel in and hone in. But at the same time, you've got to have that kind of attitude to some degree to even try to even come close to succeeding on the NBA level because you're going up against the very best. If he did not have a shooter's touch, then I would agree with Chad. But the fact is he finds different ways to put the ball in the hole. If you can get to the hole, plus you can shoot from the perimeter, plus it's difficult for someone to check you one-on-one, that's going to be a problem. And that's going to be a problem for the opposition, not Austin Rivers. And last but not least, I believe in Doc Rivers. That's his son, okay? He's actively involved in his son's life and his son's career. And any kind of problems in terms of hero ball, mental approach to the game, whatever the case may be, I think would be a personal indictment against Doc Rivers because this is a man that coaches grown men to championships and to championship contention. I would like to believe he could do the same for his own son. If you can coach other people that ain't your blood, I certainly believe he could coach his blood. Not that he would have to coach him on a day-in, day-out basis, but that level of tutelage, that guidance, that support, all of those things would resonate. And I just believe, yeah, he's not the number 2 overall pick, but definitely I think Austin Rivers is higher than 10. And I think he's going to have a really good NBA career, if not a great one.
And Stephen A., you get sick and tired of hearing me talk about the clutch gene. I think this kid was born with the clutch gene because that shot he made that was at Carolina on national TV, that was a big-time walk-off clutch shot.
And I saw him miss several of those big time
He
shots.
did
too.
miss. Yeah, he did miss some.
And I agree with Stephen A. about Doc Rivers. I believe in Doc Rivers. But look, I believe in Michael Jordan, and I wouldn't endorse his sons as one of the top 10 picks in the draft. I believe in Patrick Ewing. I would endorse his son.
His sons are not. They're not Austin Rivers.
No.
They didn't play at Duke. Okay. And listen, there were times when he carried that Duke team this year. Not much, but there were moments.